The end of a choppy week in the markets, and Bitcoin is sat just above a major level of support. So is it going to hold or is it going to give way? We'll explore some options in that, and we'll also go through the alts to watch for some potential trades and go over the trade setups that we went over on Monday and see how they panned out. So quickly go over BTC. As I say, monthly time frame, we've got 10 days until the monthly candle close. We are currently still above that all-important 29.3k monthly level of previous resistance, now support. We know this is a major level as we can see. Support down here, it was the bottom in the summer of 21 and heavy resistance for the majority of this year. So March, April, May, 3 monthly candles that tried to get above it and failed and rejected until last month it finally broke over the top. So it's all important monthly close this month. If we see a monthly close below 29.3k, then for me that is very bearish because that just makes this a big deviation and should send us lower. However, we could end up holding this level, use it as support, and then fuel the next leg up to 34.4k. So this monthly candle close in the next 10 days, very, very important. If we break it down to the weekly, not really much more to add. The only extra level we've got is this 31.7k level, which was the swing high from back in June 2022. And marks the local top as we tapped it last week and rejected quite harshly. But again, we've still got this 29.3k level support. And then on the daily, again, doesn't change much. As I said, we've had a very choppy week so far. So where's Monday? Monday we opened up at around 30.2. We've dropped down to 29.6 twice. We returned up to about 30.4 yesterday before dropping again. So very, very choppy price action. But we've not had a daily close below 29.6k since we broke above it back on the 21st of June. So pretty important level. However, as I say, breaking below that means we are going to test that 29.3k, which is still heavy support. So we'll have to see what happens if and when we do break below that 29.6k level. But yeah, in terms of trading, it's been a difficult one this week, quite choppy. If we take a look at Ethereum, pretty much the same. We broke below that daily level of 1940 and we've not really gone anywhere since. A couple of attempts to rally and have all been sold into, and again, even on the higher time frames, there's just nothing really to go off in terms of a swing perspective. A couple of things from TradFi which are quite interesting. On the S&P, we've hit that major level resistance of 4588, which is the swing high here from April of last year. So could be a potential pullback here, maybe come down, have a bullish retest of 4327 to fuel another leg higher. If we go to the weekly, again, we've been non-stop ever since the middle of May. So it would make sense to have a bit of a pullback here, and that could obviously bring crypto down with it. As well, you've got the dollar bouncing quite nicely off of this monthly level of 99.6. You see this is a significant level from Feb 2016, had the deviation there, got below, then it was heavy resistance back in 2019 and 2020 before we broke over it in April of last year. We've also got this level of support here at 101. We've had a couple of wicks held, and so are we, again, on the monthly time frame, are we going to see this monthly candle zip up and close above 101 and hold this support? We'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, nice little bounce off 99.63, and on the weekly, looking, let's get rid of that, it's a little bit untidy. Looking like a very nice bounce so far on this weekly candle. So as I say, is it going to have enough momentum to get above 101 for the monthly close? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it's not a direct correlation. A bullish dollar is a bearish Bitcoin and vice versa, but the majority of the time it does run that way. Also, the VIX that I've been banging on about for a long time still hasn't played out yet. I think we are eventually going to get a big jump on the VIX, which is going to result probably in a sell-off on the S&P. So the rule with the VIX is when the VIX is low, look out below. When the VIX is high, time to buy. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. As I say, S&P at resistance, VIX super low, we could see, and the dollar on support, so we could see things flip on its head. And as I say, if Bitcoin loses that support, both on the daily and then ends up losing it on the monthly, could see a lot more downside potentially. Or, as I say, we could end up holding 29.3 and fueling that leg up to 34.4. So all options on the table, just going to have to wait and see what happens on the weekly and monthly closes. If we go into some alts then, So the trading setups that we talked about on Monday. So here's Matic. So we talked about this daily level being important, the 79 cents. We said basically you can use this level to short, invalidation being a daily close above, and then you could flip long to have a run up to the 92 cents weekly level. As you can see, we tested it on Monday, came down, had another leg up on Thursday, which was the really choppy day yesterday, but you can see didn't get that daily close above, so that is still a valid short. So yeah, if you're in that, you're looking pretty good. Where's the tool? So yeah, a few percent, 5% maybe, yeah, 3.5%. So that's looking good. On near, we entered this short on the earn while you learn. We entered it right on this daily level here at $1.48. Unfortunately, we got stopped out due to that huge wick yesterday. As you can see, it was about 7.5%. So pretty brutal. But if you manage to avoid getting stopped out, you'd be back around break even, and you've got the luxury here of waiting for the daily close. If the daily close is above $1.49, then you can jump out and potentially flip long for a run up to this daily level weekly range support of $1.66. If we go to the weekly though, as you can see, having a real tough time of getting above that weekly mid-range weekly level. So bit of a tricky one. As I say, if you are in a short, you've got the luxury of waiting for the daily close. If we close back below $1.48, then I'd be quite happy to hold on to that short. If we close above, then you can get out for a small loss, and as I say, potentially look at flipping long or wait for the weekly candle close for confirmation. If we get a weekly candle close above $1.54, then I think that's a pretty good long, with TP1 being $1.66 and TP2 being the weekly range high of $1.83. On DOT, so this was quite an annoying one. As you can see, I said $5.25 was the all-important level. A daily close below and you can jump into a short, or a hold and you can jump long. It just closed below, had what I thought, or what looked like a bearish retest on the Wednesday, but then basically deviated the level and closed back above on Thursday and had a run up to that weekly level, monthly mid-range $5.57. So that's that one didn't quite work out. But again, very similar to near. If we get a weekly close above $5.57, then that looks like a good long up to the monthly range highs of around $7. We can see this is a huge weekly level all the way back from September 2020. Resistance here, broke below in November, flipped to resistance, then flipped back to support in January, held up until May, and then it's been resistance ever since. So multiple attempts to break over the top. So again, probably not a bad area for a short. Or if we get a weekly close above, then potentially flipping long. And then finally on ZIL, this hasn't really done much. Again, talked about the potential of jumping into a short on this daily range high on Monday, which was exactly where we were. As long as you didn't get caught out by the big wick the following day, it was about a 5% move, which was a move into that weekly mid-range again, into its own weekly mid-range level. But yeah, looking good for a short there if you got filled either on the daily range high or on the weekly mid-range level. If we just take a look at that, yeah, a few percent in profit. And again, your invalidation, your target could be down here at 0.019, the daily range low, and then your invalidation is at daily close above that daily range high. So again, I think all four, or ZIL, DOT, and near at least, have important weekly closes. If they get a weekly close above their weekly mid-ranges, then they look very good for a long. Otherwise, it looks like we may see a turnaround and further downside. So that will be quite interesting to watch out for. And then again on Matic, really about that daily level. As long as we stay below that, or don't get a daily close above that, then it looks like we could be heading down to 65 cents. So be an interesting weekly close, be an interesting week next week. Not sure what Bitcoin does here. Do we hold the daily level of 29.6? Do we come down and test 29.3? And then, as I say, in 10 days' time, where does the monthly candle end up closing? If it closes below 29.3, then I think we see some significant downside to probably at least 25k. So keep your eyes on that. Have a good weekend. I personally don't like trading over the weekend. It's usually pretty boring price action, and Fridays can be a little bit wild. There's lots of traps that happen on a weekend as well. So personally, I try and stay away from trading on the weekend. I like to chart stuff on a Sunday night, Monday morning, and then go over my trades for the week, which is what I'll be doing on Monday's video. So if you like what we did on Monday, where I go over some trading setups, then smash a like, smash a comment, let us know, and it will be something I do more regularly in the future. But as I say, have a good weekend. Try and take some time off the charts. And we'll come back Monday with another video telling you everything you need to know about the following week. And as I say, potentially some more trading setups. So I will see you then.